Hey guys, this is the Great Lugia here. Welcome to Pokemon Silver version, the go through part 19, and I just went ahead and got out of the burn tower off screen to save time. And, well, seeing as there's not much else to do in Ecruteak City right now, I guess I'll just go ahead and fight the gym. And as a lot of people know, all of the Pokemon here, save for one Pokemon from the gym leader, are just Ghastly and Haunter. That's it. So it gets a bit repetitive after a while. But we'll get into that a bit later. Anyways, right now I'm just gonna be using Eevee because, first off, all of the attacks these Pokemon have are Ghost-type moves. So basically, the only way these Ghastly and Haunter can deal damage is if they use Curse, which for Ghosts means they cut their HP in half. And then you can just switch out, so it really doesn't matter. So yeah, Eevee combined with Mud Slap combined with no Levitate in this generation really does a lot to these guys, to these things, basically. And also, well, again, Eevee's just being awesome right now and sweeping everything, don't worry. Mud Slap will run out of PP soon enough, seeing as only has 10, and I'm not going to go ahead and heal off screen. Well, I will for the gym leader, I guess, and see, here's a perfect example. It uses Curse when it has less than its half of its HP, so it just kills itself. I'm getting tongue-tied a lot already in this episode. And since Eevee's cursed now, and I don't want it to, there I go again, and I don't want it to take any damage, I just switch out, and I go for Quilava, and hopefully Ember should be a 1 KO, and yes it is, very nice. And now I think I'm just going to go ahead and switch back into Eevee. Yep. Or not. Whatever. Also, one thing I've always been wondering. Basically about the nature of Ghost-type Pokemon, specifically the originals Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar. They're Ghost Pokemon. Were they... Well, actually, now that we have breeding, we kind of know the answer, but still not quite. Basically, are they born as ghosts and just raised as ghosts continually? Or are they the ghosts of dead Pokemon? Or are they the ghosts of dead humans? I've always been wondering that. And granted, yes, eggs do hatch into ghosts, but wouldn't that just mean, possibly, that the child died before it hatched and then its ghost came out? And see, here's Haunter using Curse. And hooray for killing all these ghosts, even though that doesn't exactly make sense, seeing as they're already dead, I think. Whatever. And she has a second Haunter, and I'm just gonna go ahead and switch out because, again, I don't want to get cursed. And Ember should be a 2 KO against this Haunter, at least hopefully, and hopefully it won't do anything annoying. 3 KO. Just barely 2. Okay, it just goes for mean luck, which means it's probably gonna go for Curse next turn. Granted, if it does that, then that means it'll kill itself. Or random number generator decides to kick in. Either way is fine with me. And look at that sprite. That's just really, really weird. I mean, I've never gotten that. Is that supposed to be weird? Is that supposed to be funny? Is that supposed to be normal? I don't get it. And speaking of this gym, another thing I never really got is why 1 or 2 trainers didn't have a Misdreavus. At the very least, Morty, because he's got a Ghastly, 2 Haunter, and a Gengar. You'd think, instead of having 1 Ghastly, 2 Haunter, and hooray for helping kill themselves again, I guess. Although, seeing as this Haunter is level 22, it won't die this turn. But anyways, all I was saying was, I'm surprised how instead of Ghastly or one of his Haunters, Morty doesn't have a Misdreavus. Because, well, you know, it's a new Johto Ghost type. Granted, the only time you ever see one is in the wild, and that's not until the very end of the game. Whatever. Anyways, there's one last trainer here, and first I'm just gonna go ahead and switch because I think Mud Slap ran out of PP. If it didn't, then it's very close to it. I haven't been paying much attention. Again, post-narration, hooray. So yeah, here's the last trainer, and she shall win. I think you shall be lying, you crazy old woman with a weird sprite. Anyway, she leads off with a Ghastly. That Ghastly looks like it has a reflection in, like, the sun or something. That's kind of odd, because it's, like, gas. So how can gas be, like, shiny and reflect to the sun? I don't know, and there's not even sunlight in here. Pokemon logic at its best. Actually, there's probably a lot better examples of Pokemon logic that I can't care to think of right now. Actually, I can. How come that it's alright to touch a flaming Pokemon on fire and their fire as long as it trusts you? How can a Pokemon's trust control whether or not the fire is real or something? I mean, now that's really weird. I always remember that from that Ponyta episode in the first season of the anime. Anyways, here's another Haunter, and it just dies. And hooray, level 26. Quilava is now 10 levels away from evolving, but that won't still be for quite a while if I had to guess. Anyways, our last Pokemon, another Ghastly. So yeah, just gonna almost kill this, but it just kills itself, so I don't really need to worry about that. Thanks for saving me the trouble. I don't really get why ghosts are so suicidal. Is it because they're already dead and they don't feel like they have anything to lose? And that was a misclick, that's annoying. Being more careful this time, and the worst part is, this is just gonna waste time for Morty. I mean, I'm just gonna watch. Like, when I was recording this, I had a bad feeling that when I beat Morty, I'd be like 5 seconds over the time limit or something. Anyways, I just went ahead and healed and saved off screen. And I just also switched to my first Pokemon. I didn't buy any items or anything. Anyways, this is Morty, and he is the gym leader of Ecruteak City. Anyways, he wants to get stronger so he can consider himself worthy to fight legendaries, which I always thought was pretty neat. Anyways, he leads off with a Ghastly. Level 21. Alright, go Flaffy! I wonder if Thunder Punch will win a KO. Let's see. Pow. Yep. Well, that wasn't too challenging. Anyways, his next Pokemon's a Haunter. And this will probably be a 2-hit KO, and it outspeeds, unfortunately, and gets Nightshade, which can be an annoying move, definitely seeing as it's set damage, and yeah, it doesn't quite KO, but it does a decent amount. And yeah, it's just outspeeding Fluffy and Nightshading some more. And hooray for Thunder Punch KOing. And Fluffy almost levels up, not quite unfortunately, and for some reason I never got this, he always sends out his Gengar third. I mean, whenever I played through this game. Even though it's his highest leveled Pokemon, you'd expect, like, the strongest Pokemon to be last, not third. No, whatever. Anyways, I'm just gonna go into Eevee, and the moveset on this Gengar is Hypnosis, Shadow Ball, Dream Eater, and Mean Look. So, the only way it can get damage is if it uses Hypnosis, like it did there, and of course, it misses the first time, but then after the accuracy drop, it hits, which makes perfect sense. But I have 3 Awakenings, so I'm not exactly worried. And even though Mudslap's not doing too much, at least Eevee's immune to Shadow Ball. And again, Mudslap has accuracy drops, which are always nice, and just goes for Mean Look, but I have no intention of running away, because which is more scary, like a giant ghost thing, or a small puppy, like, fox-like creature that's very cute? It's obvious that the fox one is much scarier. And it keeps missing, which is very nice. And I'm just gonna Mudslap again, and now I'm kind of worried he's gonna Super Potion again. I'm not so much worried about losing as I am about going over the time limit. Thankfully, though, he doesn't, and Hypnosis misses, and Mudslap KOs the Gengar. So yeah, Eevee killed a Gengar, ha 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 ha. And that sounded really lame, but I don't care, because Eevee is too awesome to be annoyed by your annoying things. Anyways, his last Pokemon's a level 23 Haunter, and I have no idea why I sent out Flaffy. I mean, if the level 21 Haunter outsped Flaffy, why couldn't a level 23 do it? But surprisingly, I actually do outspeed, and goes for Nightshade. Again, with the time limit, I should have just gone into Quilava, and I go for Thunder Punch again, But then it turns out it's a speed tie, and this time it hits. Hooray! So again, I don't have the exact time. I know I can only have like up to 4 minutes in this battle, so now I'm going like crap, and here I get annoyed and like I don't see what I'm doing, so I misclick and I'm like, oh great, I'm gonna go like 5 seconds over the time limit and I'm gonna have to fight Morty all over again. But thankfully I do kill the Haunter, and thankfully I do barely, you know, make it through the time limit without editing or anything like that, as you see in the timer of the video. Anyways, he gives you a fog badge, which, I don't know, is foggy, I guess, and it lets you use Surf outside battle, and he gives you Shadow Ball. Hopefully this time the gym leader who gives you Shadow Ball will actually let you have it. Take that, Reach on Adventures, bye.